In the winter of 2004, a 21-year-old nursing student from Massachusetts set out on a road trip that would change her life and bewilder investigators for more than 2 decades. She had school, family, friends, plans for the future, yet she vanished into thin air after a minor traffic accident in rural New Hampshire. Her name was Maura Murray, and this is one of the most chilling missing person cases in modern American history. Maura Murray was born on May 4, 1982, in Hanson, Massachusetts. She was the fourth of 5 children. She excelled in athletics in high school and was accepted to the prestigious U.S. Military Academy due to a congressional nomination, but left after 3 semesters. Later, she transferred closer to home and became a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. By all accounts, she was intelligent, ambitious, and well-liked. She worked on campus and had a circle of friends and family who cared deeply about her. Shortly before her disappearance, she had been dealing with personal stress, including an eating disorder, a minor legal issue with a credit card, and emotional strain related to family matters. On the afternoon of February 9, 2004, Maura began her journey. That day, she canceled classes, emailed her supervisors saying she would be out for a week due to a supposed death in the family, a claim her family later confirmed was not true. She also withdrew cash from an ATM, picked up legal paperwork related to a traffic violation and insurance forms, and made calls for lodging in New Hampshire and Vermont. Investigators believe she was possibly heading toward Burlington, Vermont, based on MapQuest directions found in her car and a phone call she made to a condo owner there earlier that afternoon. At approximately 7:27 p.m., a local resident of Woodsville, New Hampshire, reported a car crash on Route 112, a remote rural road known for its winding shape and heavy winter conditions. A red Saturn sedan had slid off the road and was resting against a snowbank. A passing school bus driver stopped and saw Maura by the vehicle. Some accounts suggested she declined help or said she had already contacted roadside assistance. When police arrived roughly 15 minutes later, the car was still there, but Maura Murray was nowhere to be found. Her vehicle was locked. The key was still in the ignition. A rag was found stuffed in the tailpipe, possibly placed there to avoid exhaust issues or for reasons never fully explained. Inside the car were personal items, bottles of alcohol, gloves, CDs, jewelry, and accident report forms. But her cell phone, debit cards, and credit cards were missing and have never been used since. After her disappearance was reported the following afternoon, authorities issued a be on the lookout alert. Search efforts began with police, state officials, tracking dogs, and volunteers combing the area around the crash site. A tracking dog followed the scent from one of her gloves about 100 yards east of the accident, but then lost the trail. No further confirmed sightings have been documented. One reported sighting that night between 8:00 and 8:30 p.m. was logged months later by a contractor who remembered seeing someone on foot eastbound on Route 112 wearing jeans, a dark coat, and a hood. He did not immediately alert police and only realized its possible connection later. Over the weeks and months that followed, formal search missions were conducted. Items from her car were sent for forensic analysis. Black backpack she possessed but never found became a focus of the investigation. By mid-2004, Hundreds of people, including state troopers and volunteers, had participated in systematic searches of the woods and surrounding terrain near Route 112. Yet no conclusive evidence was ever discovered. The family also pursued legal action and appealed to public officials for more transparency in the investigation. On the first anniversary of her disappearance, a public memorial was held near where her car was found. Investigators officially treat Maura's disappearance as a suspicious missing person case. Some theorize she may have left on foot, others suggest foul play or possible abduction, but no suspect has ever been charged and no body has ever been found. Critics of the investigation have pointed to alleged missteps, including the delay in classifying her disappearance as suspicious and incomplete follow-up on leads such as phone numbers found in her vehicle. There have also been online communities of amateur investigators, podcasts, and armchair detectives discussing the case, highlighting how this became one of the first missing person cases that captured widespread attention in the early age of internet true crime discussions. Some suggest she may have chosen to vanish due to emotional stress or personal turmoil, pointing to her misleading email and behaviors earlier that day. These ideas are controversial and disputed by her family. Given the remote, wooded terrain and harsh winter conditions, some believe she may have wandered off and succumbed to the elements, though no physical trace supports this. Another view is she may have accepted a ride from someone at the crash site and met with foul intent. Her family leans toward this possibility, citing concerns about investigative gaps and unexplored leads. Over 20 years later, Maura Murray's case remains open and haunting. The FBI has included her DNA in national missing person databases, and searches continue sporadically. In 2024, Maura's sister launched a podcast aiming to share new insights and revisit overlooked evidence in hopes of solving the mystery. Her story has inspired documentaries, books, and countless discussions, yet the central question remains: what really happened that night on Route 112? Maura Murray's disappearance is not just a missing person case. It is a puzzle without a picture, a story with more questions than answers, a reminder that sometimes, even in an age of technology, a person can simply disappear, and the truth can be buried in silence.